Where I am now, better than before, through those open doors. Where I am now, where I am now, I'm in a special place, a tender walk with grace. Where I am now.
It's now time for the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. The music that you hear in the background is none other than Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, where I am now. And if you like to see us live in WGPL 1350 Studio, WMVA 88.9 FM radio station studio, all you have to do is go to Edward Everett's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton Facebook page, and guess what? You can see us live right here on 1350 and 88.9 FM. And if you want to hear us all over the globe, all you have to do is go to www.christianbroadcastingcompany.com off 1400 AM or 1350 AM, and you can hear us all over the world. And now I want to introduce to some and present to others the host of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, and a pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. E. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Would you, could you, will you be my neighbor?
Let's welcome our neighbors, our WGPL 1350 AM listeners.
And Peace 95.3 FM and WPCE 1400 AM and 88.9 FM WMVA.
Facebook Live is on and popping.
Popping.
But we want to welcome Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. We'll shout you out later on in the show.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Like, share, comment, subscribe. And make sure you go to YouTube at Cristo Records 1, Cristo Records 1. Subscribe. If you do all that, we're going to shout you out later on in the show.
Shout out.
Mr. E is Fun Friday.
That's
it's
right.
The weekend.
And
already.
I just got paid. And I just
Ooh,
got
you just
paid.
got paid. Mr. E, you need to take all us around here to lunch.
I want to invite you all out to lunch today.
And you paying?
Yeah, I'm paying. All you have to do is come to 5335
Yes.
East Virginia Beach Boulevard in the city of Norfolk, Virginia. It's the Father's Day celebration. It's lunch on us
That is marvelous.
at CBC, your number one black media network.
Absolutely. Who's invited now, Mr. E?
Every lottie, dottie, and everybody can come on out and eat some hamburgers and some
makes
hot
me
dogs
so hungry.
and some chicken and just
And
come
all
on
that.
and all of that and have fun.
All right. Sheila Robbins, good morning. The first one. Yeah, I love that on Facebook. You all that are there, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe.
That's right.
So, Mr. E, this is our Friday segment. What's in your closet?
Issue
Concerning us women.
Yeah.
So, Mr. E, on Monday, we had a wonderful, wonderful panel on FYI After
That's
Dark.
right. That's right. Great bunch of ladies out
Yes.
there answering more questions. So we got a bright idea of what women want.
What women want. Now, this segment, since it is Father's Day, our segment, What's in the Closet, featuring two women with, no, this is what it is. Let me say, first of all, let me get back. What's in your closet? Issues concerning women, featuring why daughters love their daddy.
You know, Miss Hinton, that's one of the greatest topics in the whole wide world, that you want to know why daughters love their daddy. What some great information that we have for them to help you to understand why daddy is daughter's best buddy.
Absolutely. We want to say good morning to Mr. Les Smith. Thank you for joining us. Oh, Mr. E, why do daughters love their daddies? That question right there is so, it's a wonderful question, because when I just think of the time that I had, the short time, because my dad died when he was young and we were very young. But I can remember the love that I had for him, and the sweetness that I saw about him as a provider, as a hard worker, as a daddy, as, someone that cared and showed it.
That's right. That's right. One thing about daddies and the girls, and daddy and the children, rather, that dad knows how to show. That's they say a man came up with that. What men are made out of, what girls are made out of. They said that girls are made out of sugar and spice.
Yes. And yes, we are.
And everything nice. And sometimes they can turn around and be like snakes and snails and puppy dog tails.
Yeah, we say we can get y'all like y'all, because that's what y'all are made of.
That's
Snake
right.
snails
That's
and puppy dog tails. Puppy dog tails is not bad, though. That's kind of cute.
Okay.
But anyway, we have some reasons why daughters love their fathers so much. Now, Miss Lee, you have a daughter.
I have. I have 3 daughters.
You have 3 daughters,
Yeah.
And so tell us about
and 7 granddaughters.
Oh my goodness, you got a quiver full.
That's right.
Oh my goodness, all of them different personalities, character. You got to handle them all different, right?
That's right. That's right. Because you got to have a special touch for each one of them, because they all are special.
Are all of them spoiled? Did you do that?
You can say it. That they are very well loved.
Well, what do you think your responsibility is to daughters specifically? What do you feel that you have to do as a daddy?
You have
for
to be
girls.
You have to be a protector for them girls. You got to make sure that they are taught well, taught right, how to be a young lady and what they need to do. You got to build them up so far that any gentleman that comes at them has to be on his A game.
Okay, I like that.
You can't build them girls up, and then you got to make the bar so high that when some knight in shining armor come and try to kidnap that girl, that they have to have all the things that it takes to take that girl away from that daddy.
Well, it says daughters are always touted to be daddy's little girls, and for as long as they live, they continue to be so. It is no hidden truth that a father is the first man in every girl's life, and while he is the superhero, he also is the idol to look up to for his sons as well. The answer is why do daughters love their fathers so much lies in their relationship itself. It is, after all, the fathers who can turn to with every wish and with every demand. That is a beautiful thing, because daddy is the superhero.
That's
daddy can do no wrong.
That's right.
Daddy love is unconditional, just like a mommy's. And daddy just have a special place in the heart of a young lady.
That's right. They got a special bond. Daddy bonds with that girl. That girl bonds with daddy. And, because, she knows how to have him wrapped around her finger.
And what does she do? She smiles. She's happy around him most of the time.
That's right.
And
stroke his ego.
Yes.
And she just mesmerized him when nobody else would give him any props whatsoever. That little girl knows how to say the right words, hold his hand at the right time, and she just know how to smile at him just to build him up.
I think at a young age, girls learn how to communicate with daddy. They have the best hugs in the whole wide world toward daddy. It's just a beautiful, beautiful bond. But there we have some reasons, Mr. E, why this thing happens between daughter and father.
And number one is daddy comes first, always in a little girl's eye. Every time a girl is asked to choose between a mother and her daddy, a daughter, she goes on to say both. But deep down, she knows that it will be the father. After all, he has spoiled her ever since she could begin to talk. Before the two of them knew, it was just become a way of life. The daughter, unconditional love, and the father's affection, the first man in her life, a guy need to match up with him, if not equally, at least somewhere close. For it is the father who always sets standards high.
Very high. So men, when you're looking at someone's daughter, you better make sure you can,
You got to bring something to the
you
table.
better bring something to the table, because a daddy is, I mean, he protects a young girl, his daughter, so well that you sometimes can't even get in between that type of situation unless you come with something that he can relate to. He sees himself in you. He believes that you're gonna take care of his little baby.
That's right.
You better come right.
That's right. That's right. A father are the ultimate role models for that little girl. They are a confidence booster. Daddy knows how to say, "You are daddy's little girl."
Always affirming her, always saying how beautiful she is. Loves, her laugh. He appreciates her sense of humor. That's what daddies do.
And then they sit there and have tea with her, and eat her little food, and that little plastic food that that she has on the table. Drink that imaginary tea. He just, and then she plays makeup with him. She smears his face with lipstick and toenail polish and all of that that she puts upon her dad.
I used to scratch my daddy's hair. I was about 4 or 5 years old, and he would come home from work. I can see it now. I can see the chair he's sitting in, and I'm just scratching his hair. I remember the texture of his hair and everything coming up. And it's just, it's like a bonding. Now, I had 3 other sisters, but each one of them have a different perspective on my daddy. Like I said, he died very young. But we see him in different lights. I really see him as what we're describing now.
Right.
I loved my father, and that's how I see him, exactly what we're identifying.
And the reason why girls are daddy's, baby, because daddy never says no.
Oh,
to the things to love. Yeah.
Now that's the truth, because I remember one day my grandparents came from here. They lived here. They came to Brooklyn to see us, and they were all around the table. It was time for my daddy to go to work, and I followed him outside all the way down the steps. And I said, "Daddy, can I have some money?" And Daddy gave me some money. But why was my mother upstairs looking out the window? Now he approved, but when I walked up there, she found out I had asked money. If she didn't go into me like it was a sin. So daddies do. They give you what you ask
for. That very
for.
last
Pretty
coin,
much so.
Daddies will give them girls the very last coin in their pocket and won't get a life lesson.
Well, what about teaching? What do you think? Misty, think about your daughters. And it says that daddies teach daughters lessons that no one else ever can.
It's because of the special bond that a daddy has with a little girl. Because what he does is sets the bar up so high. He puts stuff in the ears like you ain't got to worry about nobody telling you that you're cute because you are beautiful.
Oh, wow.
You ain't got to worry about nobody telling you that they love, because daddy will always love you, baby. You ain't got to worry about anything because I'll be there. Michael Jackson made one of the greatest songs when he wrote that wrote that song. And daddies has taken that song and said, "I'll be there anytime." Anytime daughter need daddy, guess what?
There they are.
He there.
It says that fathers teach daughters to be as strong, as weak, and sensitive. If there's solace in a mother's arm, then there is peace in a father's arm. He's a role model and a confidence booster.
That's right. Daddy is a protector from the evil and from everyone else. Absolutely. Daddy protects them from evil and from everyone else.
I think some girls may think that fathers are overprotective, but that's just a part of their character and their role. Sometimes they are, but they are really trying to keep you from harm's way. A lot of times they're trying to keep you from bad situations. We had a guest up here, Mr. E, and he was talking about his daughters that he raised. And he was saying, I have taught them about men and things not to do, even though they don't listen. It's in him to make sure they don't go out there and get with the wrong type of fellow.
And that's what you have to do. You got to tell your daughter the pros and cons of a man. They got choices that they're going to have to make. They're going to make right and wrong choices. But one thing about a daddy, he put the instructions out there, and he lets them know this. Why? Because he's a man, and he's teaching them about the pros and cons of life.
Yes.
Mama teaches them one thing, but there's something about daddies teaching them little girls the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s and how to count. Sometimes daddy has a special method of how to teach, and little boys don't want to catch on.
Yeah, I think daddies, little girls and daughters, and they know there's something about daddies that they know. They know his quiet side, his strength. They know his grumpiness. They just know everything about him, and they love on him anyway.
That's right.
What I'm saying, it's like an unconditional love.
That's right. And even though that daddy makes them mad, they know how to poke their little lip out. And daddy said, well, I got to make it right. I got to make it right for that little girl because that's daddy's boo-boo. That's daddy. And they got them little pet names. Daddy got a little pet name for his little girl. And did you have a pet name?
For my daddy.
Your daddy have a pet name for you?
They call me Lady.
So what did your daddy just call you Lady? How did he pronounce your name? Did he say it in a special way that melted your heart?
Just lady girl, lady. It wasn't, he didn't say Yolanda.
Okay.
Because I was just young, so it wasn't like, Yolanda, like Lady. Everybody called me Lady at the time. And so, wow. But, I was just thinking about my daughter and her father. When my husband had the accident, 2016, my daughter was in the emergency room. She was just crying, I want my daddy. I just want my daddy home. She just went into a little, she was a full grown woman, just went into a little girl thing of, I just want my daddy.
That's right. And then it melted his heart. He wants to see all of his children, but something about that little girl.
Yeah, want my daddy home.
And then the bar that he might have set, that we set for our children. There is no way in this world that men could equal up to that bar.
Absolutely.
Here's one of the things I learned about this, Miss Hinton. If you go down to one of the last pages, that it blew my mind. It blew my mind in this when I was looking at it. Okay. Number 10.
All right, go ahead.
The love between daddies, there is no competition whatsoever between them. There is no, if you look at it, the daughter does not give daddy any competition whatsoever, but the son does, because one day the son wants to take over the kingship. He wants to rule the house, but a little girl, she stays right humble, right there beside her. There has been a poll conducted that mothers describe their sons as positive words, such as funny, cheeky, loving, playful, whereas their daughters are described somewhat as critical, noted with words such as serious and argumentative. While the son looks up to their father, they're also in an everlasting competition with their daddies to be the alpha male.
Wow,
the boys really want to take daddy role. He really wants to be the alpha male in his house. Yes. You cannot, and I don't care what, you cannot take daddy role in his house. You got to wait till you get your own house so you can be the alpha male in your own crib, but not in daddy's house.
Absolutely.
Simply, daughters have a feeling of inferior compared to their mothers, and in terms, look, intellect, personality, and behavior, they strive to be better than them.
Absolutely. Now they have to find a way to compete with mom, like you're saying. They have to, girls have to, have the affection of daddy, And I've seen daughters that were very, very, very competitive with mommy. And they like, especially when they're young little girls, they're like, I don't kiss daddy. They don't want to see that affection between mommy and daddy. It's not that daddy is reserved for me.
And that was happening to a lot of folks. This daughter, son, daddy, mother. It's a competitive world. That boys love mama, and dad and girls love them some daddy.
Absolutely.
And we often figure out why. I want to open up the phone lines and take 2 or 3 calls. The number is 757-624-9475. I want the girls to tell, ladies to call and tell why you love your dad.
Or either answer the question, do women look for men like their daddies? Or is it too late if you have a bad relationship to have a better relationship with your dad? Everything ain't all that cozy sometimes in some families. Sometimes it's really a hard thing to, for the bond and for, the understanding and forgiveness when things do go wrong. But most women, I think, look for men like their dads.
That's right.
And,
that's right.
That's what we want to know. So, Ms. Lee, you got the phone number. People can call if they want to, or in the chat.
That's right. They call in and let us know why do the young women love, why do daughters love their daddies so much? What makes them stand out? 757-624-9475. That's the telephone number to dial. And let us know why you think that girls love their daddy, or if they're looking for someone who has the same mannerism, the same ways as their daddy. I got a niece, Miss Hinton, who's about 50 years old now or older. She ain't never got married yet. That's bad English, but she ain't never got married. And the reason why she ain't got married, because she's looking for somebody like my brother.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that's kind of good or bad. I mean, it's okay if she wants to, not to be married. But if she wants to and she feels like the bar is so high, maybe she needs to rethink that and look for someone that has some of the characteristics, but maybe something that it can be appealing to her. And so, wow, that is something. But I think women do, young ladies do, look at it. They have that, especially if he's a great role model, especially if he's a great, he has sense of humor. Some women are attracted to business, the business savvy of their daddy, or it's got to be something about the men they meet that has to have something that some characteristic that daddy carries.
That's right. 757-624-9475. That's the telephone number to dial. And if you want to wish your father a happy Father's Day, give us a call. 757-624-9475. Even if you got a bad relationship with your daddy, make sure you mend it, because one of the things that you don't want to do is to walk around, mad as the devil with your dad, and you wonder why you got sick, wonder why because one, you have not mended that relationship. That is bad. Daddy is a deadbeat. Mama said daddy ain't no good. Daddy had to be some good because he got you here.
Well, everybody's good and evil, so you may see a little bit more of what he shouldn't be, but he got something, maybe one or two things that maybe could be, something that could get you all back in good graces. Some we don't want to be in denial. There are some relationships, mother and daughter and father and daughter, that will never come together. But I'm saying there are a lot more, Mr. E, where people, even though they go through difficult times, they can still get back with one another. They can still reconcile. They can still be in a better place. And that's what we hope when we do these programs and things like this, these segments. we hope for the best for families.
That's right.
And
That's right.
if you are out there and you have a father that you want to get, back with in good graces, and you all have been distant to one another, kind of look in your heart and see if there's any way possible for you all to have a kind word with one another. Some people, they wait till their family members on their deathbed,
That's right.
and then
That's
they
right.
reconciling, and all that time wasted. But if you're thinking about it, and I know somebody in particular that they're thinking about getting with their daddy and saying, Daddy, I'm sorry, or can we have a better relationship? Do it.
Do it. Don't
Do
hesitate.
it before it's too late.
That's right. Don't hesitate. Don't stop. Just go ahead and do it. Just take and jump in, regardless of what it may be. It'll do his heart some good, and because all he wanted his baby back, his girl back.
I think when daddies confess that they have been butt heads, you can look at them and see them as human. But when a man think he has all the answers, everything is his way. He don't forgive or ask for forgiveness. He don't, see anybody else's perspective. That which comes sometimes brings up walls between daughter and father, son and father. When a man can say, "Wait a minute, you know what? I was too hard in this situation, or I did do you wrong, or yeah, I betrayed you, or yeah, I wasn't there for you." When he says those things, I really believe that can melt up the heart of a child.
757-624-9475. That's the telephone number. Listen, Miss Hinton, Father's Day is right around the corner. Do you really think that the restaurant's going to be packed with Father's Day?
Of course, Mr. E.
Miss Hinton, you are very smart, and you are a very bright lady. Now, Miss Hinton, I'm going to ask you again. Do you think the rose is going to jump off the shelf? Do you think that the dollar store socks going to jump off the shelf?
Yes.
Do you think that folks really put a value to their father?
I do. Daddies are beautiful. Fathers are wonderful. Let's go back. Fathers, there was a time in my mother's day and before that when a woman was home and a man made sure that the woman and the children were taken care of. He went out there and got the bread. He told the woman she didn't have to work.
That's right.
He just wanted her to make sure she cared for the children. There was a time when a man had everything on his shoulder and he did his job. And whether or not he was perfect, that's one thing. But a man had the responsibility of not only just building this country, but building family. Now, things have changed.
That's right. That's
and
right.
Women are in the workforce, and a lot of times the women are head of household. But the man, you cannot take away the fact that a man have made contributions to the family.
Miss Hinton, men had to hustle, what they call hustling, where they worked odd jobs, in jobs, they shoveled, they did this, they did that. They might not have the best education or some of that thing, but men had to go far and beyond to make sure that the house was well taken care of.
Now, Mr. E, the big question, what should a daughter get her daddy for Father's Day?
Well, first of all, they should value him. They should value him. Put up value on his head. Is he worth millions and millions of dollars? And then don't just ask them what he wants, because half of the men want to make sure that the family is well taken care of. They're going to tell you, well, I don't want anything. And so just don't take that I don't want anything for granted. Just go out there and let him appreciate. You'd be surprised that when daddy get these little trinkets or a gift that you have thought about and put a value to it, he might not show the appreciation in front of your face. But once he get behind closed doors and put on that nice leather belt that you bought for me, he feels some kinds of proud because he said, my daughter did this for me.
I notice men like a lot of trinkets and things like that. They like a lot of little funny kind of gadgets and whatnot. But a man will give hints. So if your daddy's been giving hints about something that he wanted, something electronic or a belt or whatever, go on and get that gift. Sheila says, my daddy spoiled me when I was a little girl. Yes, I know her daddy, and yes, he spoiled. She was really highly favored, though, by her mommy and her daddy. They just really love Sheila. Sheila was so sweet and they really love that. But look, come on over here. We want you all to have a wonderful Father's Day. Love and appreciate our family. And we're going to see you back here on Monday. Have a wonderful weekend.
For the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. If you'd like to be a special guest of FYI or sponsor, all you have to do is pick up the telephone and give us a call at 757-714-7861, or you can inbox us at Edward Everett's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton Facebook page, FYI Facebook page, or you can email us at FYIRadioShowLive@gmail.com. Thank you so very, very much for tuning in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9:30 to 10 on WPCE 1400 Peace 95.3, WGPL 1350, and WMVA 88.9. And don't forget, on all social media platforms, our special guest on Monday will be Mr. Head Brown in our After Dark show. After Dark, FYI After Dark, and then Mr. James Luther, who just lost to Miami. He will be our special guest. Don't forget to have a wonderful day now here. Bye now.
Oh man, Father's Day. I tell you what, it is a beautiful time for celebration. Mr. E, Father's Day we may not see the fanfare that we see with mothers, but I assure you that people love and celebrate daddies in their own way. Daddies may not make a big, fuss about, just like with my husband, he is not going to make a big fuss about a gift, but he's going to definitely appreciate and love, the effort, or, just knowing his children is a gift to him. And being able to give them is a gift to him.
That's right. A child is a gift from God. So guess what? We appreciate the gift that God has given unto us. So we have to protect the gift that God has given unto us. But every now and then, Miss Hinton, and I'm been a father. My oldest girl is 44 years old. I mean, and when you have done, and she's got two girls and a son, and all of them got children. And when you got three girls that got 7 children amongst them all, every now and then they had to call on daddy for this, and this. So now the value, if daddy had to come out in the rain and change your tie, he was right there. You ought to think about all the things that daddy had to do and say, listen, my daddy deserved more than $1.25.
We just said it, a superhero, So, but Mr. E, I'm with you on that.
Here's another thing, Ms. Hinton. Do you really think that people going out to the cemetery to see their daddy and clean the cemetery like they do their mama?
Yes, people love their
cut
daddies.
Grass and all that stuff around them.
But daddy is a human. He has a sense of humor. He has love to give. Why not? The only thing about it is that daddy don't make a fuss about wanting certain things because he is used to being the giver. But people adore their fathers. They even they speak well of them, even when they even when they don't like them, they love them. Even when they don't like him, they love him because of the role that he has.
I want to say good morning to Miss Sheila Robbins, Miss Roberta Carter. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. And I want to say happy Father's Day to all the fathers that tuned in, that listening. Listen, from me to you, bro, we know what the deal is. Power to the people. We know that them dollar store ties and that high karate and them tools that come from dollar store.
Mr. E, you must not be putting up enough hints out there if you're still getting stuff you don't want.
I was in the dollar store today, and it was a shame. I started to take a picture so our listening audience can see it. Sitting in the middle when you come in the door, they said Father's Day special. They got some cologne in them. They sent in Christmas socks in there. Socks that go. Now some dads play golf.
People are going in there to buy balloons. Happy Father's Day balloons.
Daddy don't. You think Daddy love balloons?
See that? See, there it is. See, that's the thing. That's the difference. Snick, snail, puppy dog tails don't want balloons. Sugar and spice and everything nice wants balloons, flowers, candy, all kind of gift cards, money. See, you don't know how to please a man because all he wants is a bunch of
Well,
trinkets.
just look at when the young men and young lady, when they're growing up, see what they do. When you see a young lady and she's growing up, she's playing house. She's over there with the tea party, making biscuits, making pizza, taking care of the little baby doll and all that old stuff. And then she tried to get the man over there to play along with her, and he is so busy over there tearing up trucks and cars, he's not, and then trying to put them back together again, trying to figure out how this thing works. You got to remember, men try to figure out how things work, and then they play with after they broke it all up.
Oh my goodness. The thing about it, men don't verbalize about what they want as much as a woman
They give
does.
hints.
And they may give hints, but sometimes people don't get hints. If a man wants something, he could say, look, this year, thank you for this, but this year, look. I mean, I've heard it in my house. Look, don't buy me this, or get me this, or get me this little thing right here, or maybe every now and then something electronic or whatever. They put out in the atmosphere what they want, and it ain't all that all the time. And sometimes I'm the recipient of those gifts because it's just passed on. Man was like, okay, look, just let her do it. Give it to her. Whatever. But see, that's what I'm saying. A man gets himself in trouble when it comes to receiving and getting gifts because he is so, laid back as far as, what he wants.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I just want you to write down in the column, in our chat column, what are you getting? Miss Sheila Robbins, what are you getting your father?
Her father's not here.
Miss
He's
Roberta
passed
Connor,
away.
what are you, some of you,
those that are on and your father's still here, what is it that you
would get your
or suggest something for others? If your father's not here, suggest something for others. What would you get your daddy? If my daddy was here, what would I get him?
You would spoil him. You would spoil your daddy.
I would definitely spoil it.
You would go down there. Your daddy probably have a car. It's sitting in the garage.
He would have a lot of things.
Yeah.
But he would also, this is what I suggest. Even if you don't, you're not getting the Rolex and all that kind of stuff, a car and all that stuff for daddy. Take him to a dance. Take him out to eat. Take him somewhere to a show, or give him something that you've heard him talk about for a time, for a long time. If he has a great sense of humor, take him to a comedy show or something like that. One of his favorite concerts. Look, if he's old school and he loves the what you call it, if he loves the OJs, or if he loves what is it?
Delphonics.
I don't know if they're still around. Are they? If they love, if he loves Earth, Wind, and Fire and all that stuff, take him to what the music that he loves and things like that. So. That would be a good gift.
When you playing music, folks look at the style of your music totally different from the style of their music. So now, I know some folks out there don't like the life lessons that daddy give them. And it says it takes, some people say it takes daddy so long to get his point across, and, but you just got to be patient.
Yeah, because sometimes daddies think they are know-it-alls. They know everything. Oh, they know it. You can't tell them nothing. They know they see a life through one prism, through one perspective. And so you do have to have patience that they would open up and learn from you as well as you learn from them.
That's right. And don't forget that if your father done anything wrong, and you done anything wrong to your father, mend the bridge.
Try to do it. Oh, we got a little tea to serve. Man, Mr. E, so much going on.
Let's talk about it.
Especially in the political Trump world with the indictment. I know you all heard about that.
Going to jail.
This brother is really, and we're going to have to take time on our Monday evening show to talk about what's going on and why it's happening, and why everything seems like it's always upside down in the political realm.
He's going to jail.
Yes, but on the local scene, the 6-year-old boy from Rich Neck Elementary School, his mother pleads guilty
That's
to
right.
charges.
That's right.
And she, she may end up doing some time.
Miss Hinton, I heard, this is what I heard, that also the daddy stepped up to try to take some of the load off the mother because it's his.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I heard, that the daddy stepped up and to try to, they might not have been together in the same crib, but the daddy has stepped up to take some of the load off of mama so that mama wouldn't have to go at it alone. Because what happened to the mama was on probation, had charges against her. She did something that she had, but did not know. That's why you got to be careful about the law. You got to know the pros and cons about the law, because the mother did not know that she was not eligible to get a good handgun, that she's not supposed to have one. So they making it to the point where she lied.
My God.
On the application to get a handgun. Now, mama gonna face some criminal charges, because one, she was on probation, or she was on parole, was set aside and couldn't purchase a handgun. They found no trigger, no trigger safety switch for the gun.
Yes.
They found no box for the gun. They found nothing to protect that 6-year-old boy away from the gun.
Now, Father's Day is coming up, but Lord knows if you can, as much as you can, step up. These mothers, of course, they're strong and they have to be sometimes mother and father in a household. But Lord knows you're going to have to step up. Make sure that child is getting what he needs from you.
That's right.
Because these children are going through a lot in this day and time. You have less fathers in the home than you used to back in the day. Children are, being birthed. And I was just looking at a show on last evening, Mr. E, where it was a surrogate situation in an LGBT relationship. And the father will never be nowhere to be. Who don't want a father? And I'm not trying to condemn anybody for their relationship and they want a child. But when when you are excluding men, or men are not there, or men, some way has gotten themselves in a mess and they cannot be there for their children, it screws up the whole ecosystem.
And
so I'm just saying, men, if you can, step up a little bit more when it comes to a mother raising your child. You got to be there in some kind of way.
That's right. And Ms. Hinton, and that's a great point, that men need to step up and be held accountable.
They said in schools, when fathers are involved, it makes all the difference. Even if he's not with the mother, just him participating and being a part of that child's life. And so I encourage you all on Father's Day to look at yourself, evaluate yourself, and see if you have been a good father. See if you can improve relationships with your children. See if you can reconcile. See if you can be there or help somebody else that don't have a daddy in their life. Be a mentor, a role model. Do what you can, men, to really help balance everything out and things that help things to get better. This 6-year-old, I'm glad that you said that, Mr. E. The 6-year-old, the dad is going to try to step up because he needs to.
That's right. All parents need to be stepped up, especially in a child's life. When you got a child, them children did not ask to come here, but when you are responsible for a child, regardless if you and dad is having beef, both of you are the recipients of that child. Did I say that right?
Oh, recipients.
You're a recipient of that child. Both of you has part ownership or part partners of that child. So both of you are responsible for the right upbringing of that child.
Absolutely.
It's not a one-sided thing. It's a dude. It's a two-sided thing. You and her, y'all the one to have the child. Now here's the thing that you got to remember is also that you women out there that's figured that you don't need a man. You women, y'all that figure that you don't need a man for a child. Well, you have to have a man in order to have a child. There's no other way, if, and, but, or around it. You have to have a man. Now here's the thing that you got to understand, that man was the first person to have a child, to have a baby. Man was. When you look in the book of Genesis and you look at Adam and Eve, the Bible says that God put man into a deep sleep. and opened him up and took his rib out and stitched him back up. So sealed it back up, and Eve became his helpmate. So man was the first one to have a child.
Well,
to have a grown woman.
I don't know if she was grown or a
She
child.
was a grown woman.
But Eve came from Adam.
That's right.
But Adam and Eve birthed the first.
That's right. The first man birthed your first child. That's right. But Adam was the first one. You don't believe it? Check your book. Check the book, and you'll find that Adam was put into a deep sleep, and then came woman.
Okay. Anywho.
So you got to remember, you can't do nothing without that joker.
Well, that's how God made it, male and female, to produce children.
And multiply.
So listen, woo, talking about tea now. We got a little more tea. What about Bill Cosby?
You know,
y'all after him. Let the old man, let the man. Do y'all think that the folks should run after I think it's 6 to 9 women after Bill Cosby again? Bill Cosby, take my advice, just go on and give him some money.
That's right.
And say you sorry if you've done these deeds.
What kind of when you have that, when everybody's after you, what kind of suit do you call it?
What do you call it?
I had it on the tip of my tongue. Class action suit. Make it a class action suit.
And just give somebody money. And don't do that no more. In your next life, don't you even try putting folk to sleep and doing all kind of deeds to them. That's a mess. But anyway, there's so much going on. There's so much in the social media realm that's going on. So many things going on with celebrities. So much tea. We're going to share some of that tea another time. But we are so glad that we're able to be with you on today. Don't forget the ladies' book, Bullying is Right Underneath Your Nose. Don't forget the game, Bulvic Academy is coming. Oh my goodness, real soon. Excited about that. World Ladies Pie have a launch. And the ladies' music. Lady got a single coming out. I want you all to prepare yourselves for. And don't forget to follow us and subscribe on social media. Go to Crystal Records 1, CRISTO Records 1. Oh, before I forget, beardgods.com. Go to Beard Gods for those that want wonderful gifts for your daddy, or your significant others, friends, husband, whatever. Beardgods.com, BEARD Gods, GODZ.com. Go there and buy some things from Mr. Chris Hinton, his new business, and wish your daddy a happy Father's Day with a wonderful, wonderful gift. If you want to be a special guest sponsor or intern with FI, Mr. E has the tea.
If you'd like to be a special guest or sponsor of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, that's FYI. All you have to do is give us a call at 757-714-7861. Our inbox is at Edward Everett's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda the Lady Hinton Facebook page, FYI Facebook page. Our email is at FYI-radioshow-live@gmail.com. Don't forget, we want to wish you a happy Father's Day. And don't forget that Monday is a holiday. Juneteenth, the celebration of freedom of African Americans.
Oh, I love that. But anyway, you all have a wonderful weekend.
Free at last.
Enjoy this weekend. Yeah. The weather should be really nice. We'll see you all. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for your support.
Enjoy. Take your daddy out to some special place. Spend a little cash. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
Happy Father's Day.
Two up.